Welcome back to the channel Wisdom of Stoicism. Have you ever been in a situation where someone hurt you deeply, and you had so much to say, but you chose to say nothing? Not because you were weak, but because you were wise. Maybe someone disrespected you in public. Maybe they lied about you behind your back. Maybe a close friend betrayed your trust and walked away like it meant nothing. In moments like that, it's easy to let anger take control. It's tempting to shout, to fight back, to prove your point. But here's the truth. Sometimes the most powerful response is silence. Not because you don't have the words, but because you know karma doesn't need your help. You see, Stoic philosophy teaches us something the modern world forgets. That real strength isn't in clapping back. It's in holding your peace while life sorts itself out. In this video, we'll talk about 7 moments when staying silent is your greatest weapon. Not to be passive, but to protect your energy, your dignity, and your future. Because when you stay silent at the right time, karma speaks louder than anything you could ever say. So sit back, breathe deeply. This video might just change the way you deal with people forever. Number 1. When someone publicly disrespects you. Have you ever been in a situation where someone publicly tried to embarrass you? Maybe it was during a meeting at work. You shared your thoughts, something you truly believed could help the team. But then, out of nowhere, someone laughed, rolled their eyes, or made a sarcastic comment. And just like that, the energy in the room changed. People looked down, a few smirked, and you stood there, holding your breath, heart racing, wondering what to say next. Moments like these are painful. They're confusing. You want to respond. You want to defend yourself. You want to say something, anything that will make them look small and you feel strong. But what if I told you that staying silent in that moment is actually the most powerful thing you can do? Stoic philosophy has always emphasized the strength of restraint. Marcus Aurelius, the great Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, once said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice." You see, when someone disrespects you in public, especially when it's unprovoked, it's often more about them than it is about you. Sometimes it's jealousy. Sometimes it's insecurity. Sometimes it's just their own personal pain spilling over onto others. And you just happen to be in the way. But here's the trick. When you react emotionally, when you let anger take the lead, you give them exactly what they wanted. Your reaction becomes their satisfaction. Your outburst becomes their entertainment. But when you choose silence, when you breathe, pause, and hold your ground without saying a single word, you flip the power dynamic completely. Silence in that moment becomes your strength. Because now, everyone in the room sees something different. They no longer see someone who got insulted. They see someone who refused to lower themselves to petty games. They see calm. They see self-control. They see dignity. And that silence, it echoes louder than any words ever could. Now, you might be thinking, but what if I let it slide and they do it again? Here's the truth. People test you, but they also study your reaction. When you react calmly, they learn they can't shake you. They can't control you. And eventually, they stop trying. This is where karma comes in. People who publicly humiliate others always end up exposing themselves. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but life has a funny way of bringing justice to the surface. The same people who mock you now will one day need your help, or they'll find themselves on the receiving end of the same treatment they once dished out. Let karma do what it does best. You don't have to be the one to deliver the lesson. Life will do that for you. So, next time someone tries to put you down in public, don't argue, don't explain, just straighten your back, lift your head, say nothing, let your silence be your response, let your results be your voice, and let karma handle the rest. Number 2. When you're betrayed by a close friend. Let's talk about something that hurts more than almost anything else. Betrayal. And not by a stranger, but by someone you loved, someone you trusted, someone you called a friend. They were the person you believed had your back. You laughed with them. You shared secrets. You helped them when they were down. And then one day, you find out they lied behind your back. They shared things you told them in confidence. Or maybe they simply disappeared without a word when you needed them most. And just like that, all the memories, all the moments, gone, broken. The first thing you feel is shock, then anger, then this deep, heavy sadness that sits in your chest like a rock. You want answers. You want justice. You want to call them out and make them feel what you feel. But let me tell you something. That's the exact moment when you must stay silent. That's the moment when karma needs room to breathe. Stoic wisdom reminds us you do not need to respond to everything. You do not have to react to betrayal with drama. You don't need to get even. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic thinkers, said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." And here's why that matters. When someone betrays you, and you fight back with shouting, blaming, or gossiping, you become part of the same mess. You lose your peace. You give them power over your emotions. And in the end, you still feel empty. But when you stay silent, not because you're weak, but because you are wise, you shift the energy. You walk away with dignity. You let them deal with the guilt of what they did. And you give space for karma to work. Because here's what you need to know. A person who betrays someone once will do it again. Not just to you, but to others. And eventually, they will be left alone with a pile of broken bridges. That's what karma is. It's not lightning from the sky. It's the natural consequence of repeated behavior. If someone lies, they will eventually get caught. If someone uses people, they'll eventually find themselves used. If someone betrays trust, they will live in a world where no one trusts them. So your job is simple. Let go. Don't chase closure. Don't explain your side to everyone. You don't need to fight for your reputation. Let your character speak louder than any story they can tell. And let karma do what it does best. In time, life has a way of exposing everyone. Truth rises, always. So if someone close has betrayed you, and you're sitting there with a heavy heart, breathe, stay silent, and remind yourself, you're not responsible for how they broke you, but you are responsible for how you rebuild. Let them go quietly, because the loudest message you can ever send is peace. And when karma knocks on their door, you won't need to say a word. Number 3. When false rumors are spread about you. There's something deeply painful about hearing false rumors spread about you. It feels like a betrayal because it's not just about words, it's about your reputation, your character, your identity. One moment, you're living your life quietly, doing your best to be honest and kind. The next moment, you find yourself at the center of gossip and lies. Suddenly, people look at you with suspicion or judgment, and all you want is to defend yourself, to shout the truth so loudly that no one can doubt you. But here's the hard truth that Stoicism teaches us. Sometimes, the best response is silence. You might think staying quiet will make you look weak, or let the lies win. But actually, silence is one of the most powerful weapons you can have when dealing with false rumors. Why? Because when you respond to lies by defending yourself, you are still fighting their fight. You are still giving energy to the rumor, keeping it alive. Think about it. How many times have you heard a rumor and then seen the person it's about spend hours or days trying to prove it wrong? The more they try, the bigger the rumor seems to grow. That's because reacting gives attention to the story, and attention is what fuels it. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic teachers, said something very important. If evil is spoken of you and it is true, correct yourself. If it is a lie, laugh at it. This is not just advice to ignore problems. It's wisdom about where to put your energy. If a rumor has some truth, fix what you can. But if it's a lie, don't waste your breath trying to fight it. Instead, focus on living your life honestly and fully. People who spread lies usually have their own problems. They may feel jealous, insecure, or simply want to hurt others to feel better about themselves. Remember, their lies reveal more about who they are than who you are. Karma, the natural law of cause and effect, is always at work, quietly watching. Those who harm others with lies often face consequences, sometimes in ways they don't even see coming. By choosing silence, you protect your peace. You keep your energy for what really matters. Your growth, your goals, your relationships with people who truly matter. Silence also gives you strength. It shows others that you don't need to stoop to their level or get pulled into drama. Trust that time reveals the truth. The people who really know you will not believe false stories. They will see your consistent actions, your genuine character. Over time, lies lose their power, and your truth shines through even brighter. In fact, silence paired with consistent good behavior is a kind of proof stronger than any argument. When you keep showing up, working hard, and being kind, you build a reputation that no rumor can break. Your life becomes the answer to every lie told about you. So, the next time you hear false rumors, don't rush to respond. Take a deep breath, remember the wisdom of the Stoics, and let silence be your answer. Focus on what you can control, your actions, your attitude, your growth. Let karma handle the rest. Because at the end of the day, those who talk behind your back are behind you for a reason. And you're still moving forward, stronger, wiser, and more peaceful than ever. Number 4. When you're provoked online or in arguments. We've all been there. Maybe you're scrolling through social media, and suddenly you see a comment that's designed to upset you. Maybe it's a rude message, a personal attack, or just someone trying to bait you into an argument. Or maybe, in real life, someone at work or even family members try to start a fight. They say things just to get under your skin. They want you to react. At that moment, it feels natural to respond. Your emotions flare up. You want to defend yourself, explain your side, maybe even insult them back. But here's the truth. Reacting in anger or frustration often makes things worse, not better. It drags you into a battle you don't need to fight. And most importantly, it takes away your peace of mind. Stoicism teaches us something very important here. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, said, "You always own the option of having no opinion." This means you don't have to give your energy or attention to every attack or provocation. You have control over your response. You can choose silence. Silence in these moments is not weakness. It is strength. When someone tries to provoke you, staying silent can confuse them, takes away their power, because what they really want is to see you upset. They want to get a reaction. But when you don't give it to them, you're winning without saying a word. Think about how much energy you save when you don't get pulled into every online fight or family argument. That energy can be used for something far more valuable: your work, your goals, your mental peace. Plus, silence often speaks louder than words. It shows that you're calm, collected, and above petty drama. Now, let's talk about karma. Karma is not some magic spell that punishes people instantly. It's a natural cause and effect. When someone spends their time trying to provoke and upset others, they are building a life full of negativity and conflict. Over time, this catches up to them. People see their true colors. Doors close for them. Their reputation suffers. They lose respect. You don't have to be the one to deliver the consequences. Karma will do it quietly, but surely. Your silence is like planting a seed of peace while letting their negativity grow alone in the dark. So, what can you do instead of arguing or reacting? The first step is awareness. Notice when someone is trying to provoke you. Take a moment, breathe. Remind yourself that you have a choice. Second, practice walking away. You don't have to reply to every message or comment. Sometimes the best answer is no answer. Third, protect your mental space. Use tools like blocking or muting people online if necessary. In real life, keep conversations calm or simply excuse yourself from tense situations. Lastly, remember that staying silent doesn't mean ignoring problems forever. It means choosing when and how to respond wisely. Sometimes, silence is temporary. Sometimes it's permanent. But always, it's a way to protect your inner peace. When you choose silence in the face of provocation, you become like a rock in a storm. The waves crash, but you don't move. You don't lose your balance. You don't lose yourself. And in time, karma will bring justice in ways you cannot see but will feel deeply. So the next time someone tries to drag you into an argument, online or in person, remember this: you don't have to play their game. You can choose silence. You can let karma handle the rest. Number 5. when you're underestimated or ignored. Have you ever been in a room full of people and yet somehow felt invisible? Maybe you shared a good idea but no one acknowledged it. Or perhaps you worked hard, but when it came time for a promotion or recognition, you were passed over without explanation. It's a painful feeling, being underestimated or simply ignored. In our fast-paced world, where noise and attention are currency, being overlooked can make you doubt yourself. You might even feel angry or frustrated. You want to shout, "Hey, look at me. I'm here. I matter." But here's the truth that the Stoics understood long ago. Sometimes, silence is your greatest strength. The great Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." In other words, the challenges we face, the times we feel ignored or underestimated, are what shape us into stronger, wiser people. It's not about how others see you, but about how you respond. When people underestimate you, your first instinct might be to prove them wrong by arguing or complaining. But that rarely works. Instead, it drains your energy and keeps you stuck in a cycle of needing approval. The better choice? Stay silent and let your actions do the talking. Silence here means focusing on your work, your goals, and your growth without constantly seeking validation. It means understanding that recognition is not always immediate, and that's okay. Life is a long game. Karma works in mysterious ways. Those who ignore or underestimate you often don't see the full picture. They don't realize that by dismissing you, they've lit a fire inside you. Over time, your quiet dedication, your patience, and your relentless effort become impossible to ignore. Many successful people have been underestimated at some point. They weren't loud or boastful. Instead, they worked harder behind the scenes, growing their skills and building their value silently. Eventually, their success spoke for itself, and it was louder than any argument or complaint ever could be. So, what can you do when you're being ignored or underestimated? First, take a deep breath and remind yourself that your worth isn't defined by other people's opinions. It's about your character, your integrity, and your commitment to your own path. Next, focus on consistent improvement. Learn new skills, improve your craft, and work on becoming the best version of yourself. Set small goals and celebrate those wins quietly. Don't announce your progress to the world. Let it show naturally in your work and results. Also, be patient. Real change takes time. Sometimes the world needs time to catch up to your value. This patience is not about waiting passively. It's about active, persistent effort without the distraction of seeking immediate approval. Remember, the Stoics teach us to control what we can, our own actions and attitudes, and accept what we cannot control, like other people's recognition. Your silence in the face of being underestimated is a powerful message. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone. Your success will be the proof. In the end, letting karma handle it means trusting that life has a way of balancing things. The respect and recognition you deserve will come when the time is right. And when it does, it will be more meaningful because you earned it through patience and persistence, not through noise or drama. So, the next time you feel invisible or underestimated, choose silence. Work quietly. Build yourself up. Let your success become the answer to every doubt, every slight, every moment you were ignored. Because silence here is not weakness. It is strength. It is focus. And it is the surest way to let karma do its work. Number 6. When someone you love walks away without explanation. Sometimes the hardest silence is the one left behind by someone you love. You think you know them. You've shared moments, dreams, and secrets. Then one day, without warning, they just walk away. No calls, no texts, no explanations. Just silence. And suddenly, your world feels empty, confusing, like a story with a missing last chapter. You ask yourself, why did they leave? What did I do wrong? But most importantly, you want to reach out. You want answers. You want closure. The pain is real. The silence is deafening. But here's the thing. Chasing after someone who walked away quietly will only bring you more hurt. It feels natural to want to fix what's broken, to demand reasons. But sometimes no reasons will come. Sometimes silence is their only answer. And no matter how much you want to fill that silence with words, their silence won't change. Stoic philosophy teaches us a powerful lesson here. Epictetus once said, "Don't seek for everything to happen as you wish it would, but rather wish that everything happens as it actually will." What this means is the world and people don't always meet our expectations. People leave, situations change, and sometimes those we love choose to disappear without explanation. That's life. Resisting it only brings suffering. Accepting it, as hard as it is, brings freedom. Silence after a breakup or loss is not your enemy. It's your teacher. It forces you to turn inward, pushes you to focus on what you can control. Your healing, your peace, your growth. You can't control their choice to walk away, but you can control how you respond. Choosing silence in return isn't about giving up or being cold. It's about respecting yourself enough not to chase after closure from someone who won't give it. Many people feel tempted to text, to call, to ask why, over and over again. But each message you send when they don't respond only keeps you trapped in the pain. Instead, try this. When you feel the urge to reach out, pause. Take a deep breath. Remember that your worth isn't tied to their answers. Your peace doesn't depend on their explanation. Karma, or the natural law of cause and effect, doesn't forget those who leave without respect or honesty. Life has its way of balancing itself out. Those who disappear might one day realize what they lost. But that's not your job to remind them. Your job is to live fully, to keep your heart open but guarded, and to keep moving forward. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to grieve. Silence can feel lonely, but it is also a space for healing. In this quiet, you can learn who you truly are without someone else's shadow clouding your light. The love you gave was real, but so is the love you deserve in return. Love that stays, love that communicates, love that doesn't run away. If you find yourself in this silence, don't rush to fill it with noise. Don't beg for answers that might never come. Instead, focus on yourself. Meditate. Journal your feelings. Reach out to friends who uplift you. Read the wisdom of the Stoics. They remind us that peace is found inside, not in the approval or presence of others. Remember, silence after loss or abandonment isn't the end of your story. It's a painful but powerful beginning. The silence gives you space to rebuild, to grow stronger, to become the person who no longer fears being left behind, because you know your value doesn't depend on anyone else's presence. So, when someone you love walks away without explanation, stay silent. Let your silence be your strength. Let it protect your peace. And trust that in time, karma will handle what words cannot. You will find your way. You will find peace. And most importantly, you will find yourself. Number 7. When your peace is more valuable than being right. There are times in life when we find ourselves in arguments or debates with people who just don't want to listen. Maybe it's a family member, a friend, or even a coworker. You know you're right. You have the facts. You have the clear perspective. But no matter how much you explain, no matter how politely you try to make your point, the other person refuses to understand. Instead of hearing you, they argue louder or shut down completely. And in those moments, it's tempting to keep pushing, to fight harder, to demand that they see the truth from your side. But here is where wisdom steps in, the wisdom of silence, the wisdom of peace. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." This means that sometimes it's not about convincing others or proving who is right. It's about living your truth quietly and not letting others steal your calm. When you argue just to be right, you give away something far more precious, your peace of mind. Imagine yourself in that argument. Your heart beats faster. Your voice rises. Your thoughts spiral. And with every word, your inner calm slips further away. But what if you chose silence instead? What if you took a deep breath, paused, and simply let the conversation end? Not because you gave up or because you didn't care, but because you valued your peace more than the need to win. Choosing silence here is an act of strength, not weakness. It's understanding that sometimes the best response is no response at all. Because when you keep arguing, you drag yourself into unnecessary conflict. You let frustration and anger take control. But when you stay silent, you protect your energy. You preserve your inner balance. And what about karma? The universe has a way of balancing things out over time. Those who refuse to listen or change often learn the hard way, through experience. You don't need to be their teacher. Life will teach them what they need to learn. Sometimes through mistakes, sometimes through consequences. Your role isn't to force their understanding. Your role is to keep your mind clear and your spirit unshaken. There's also a simple truth. Winning an argument doesn't always mean winning respect or peace. In fact, sometimes it makes things worse. People don't like being told they're wrong. They can become defensive or resentful. But when you choose to walk away quietly, you show maturity. You show control. And that silent power commands respect far more than a shouted victory ever could. If you want practical advice for these moments, here it is. The next time you find yourself stuck in an argument that goes nowhere, try this. Take a breath. Look away. Say nothing. Sometimes just a calm silence can defuse the tension better than 1,000 words. And when you leave the conversation with your peace intact, you win in the most important way. Remember, peace of mind is a treasure. It's the foundation for happiness, for clarity, and for wise decisions. Don't let the need to be right steal that treasure from you. Silence doesn't mean you don't care. Silence means you care enough about yourself to choose calm over conflict. So, in moments when the urge to argue is strong, remind yourself your peace is more valuable than being right. Let go of the need to convince others. Let karma work its quiet magic. And focus on living your life with grace, wisdom, and calm strength. Because at the end of the day, the loudest voice in the room is not always the strongest. Sometimes, the strongest voice is the one that doesn't say a word at all. Now, remember this. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is stay silent. It's not about weakness or giving up. It's about having the courage to walk away and trust that life will balance itself. When people disrespect you, betray you, or try to bring you down, silence is your power. It protects your peace and keeps you focused on what truly matters, your own growth and happiness. Karma has a way of working things out, even when you don't see it right away. So, instead of wasting energy on arguments or revenge, choose calm and patience. Let your actions speak louder than words. In the end, the right people will see your worth, and those who meant harm will face the consequences in their own time. Stay strong, stay silent when it counts, and trust the process. Your peace is your greatest victory. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button to show your support. It really helps us create more content like this. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video about Stoic wisdom and how to stay strong in today's world. I'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. Have you ever stayed silent and let karma handle a situation? Your story could inspire others who are going through the same thing. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes silence is the most powerful answer. Stay calm and stay wise.